Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy Golden Falls, Golden What If, whatever you want to call me, back with a brand new What If. What if Deku was the reincarnation of Tanjiro from Demon Slayer? I've gotten this requested a decent amount of times, and I'm really sorry for the minor delay. I've been writing part one of this off and on. I've been a little bit busy, but we're here, and I'm totally not recording this at 2 a.m. right now. But this is the best time for me to record because I don't have to do anything right now. But yeah, there's nothing else for me to say. That's about it. We're just gonna get straight into it. Let's go. There was once a young boy nearing the age of 4. All he wanted to be was a hero, the best hero, just like the number 1 hero, All Might. His name was Izuku Midoriya, but his life wasn't all smiles and laughter. Midoriya stayed at a friend's house one day, and when he arrived back home, the next morning there were pro-heroes, police, and even pedestrians all around his house. When he approached, he could smell blood from a distance, and his mom and all his siblings came out on stretchers, covered by tarps. Midoriya screamed in anguish, "Mom! Mom! Please wake up! Why?" Midoriya cried so much that day, he seemed to run out of tears. About to be taken to an orphanage, his childhood friend and mother came to the scene of the crime, telling the people that they wanted to adopt him, and after a few months, he was adopted by Bakugo's parents. For the first month or so, Midoriya never really wanted to talk about what happened, and even when he learned that it was just a bunch of random villains that did it, Midoriya still refused to talk more about the subject. One day, Bakugo was showing signs of his quirk, so they took him. But they also took Midoriya as well. Well, I mean, obviously to get checked. It was revealed that Bakugo had an explosion quirk, and for Midoriya, at first glance, it didn't seem like he had a quirk. But then the doctor found a strange occurrence in his lungs. So for young Midoriya here, we seem to have found that his quirk is linked to his breathing. That when he activates this form of breathing, we can hypothesize he could actually control the elements, as well as this breathing giving various physical attributes as well. We know very little about this quirk type, but if something occurs that seems very out of the blue, let us know. They shake their heads in agreement, and Bakugo and Midoriya go home. Midoriya begins to smile. "Kachan, I'm so excited. You have such a cool quirk, and I have a quirk that is super unique. We're gonna be such good heroes." Oh, sorry. "We're gonna be such good heroes, Kachan." "Izuku, are you okay?" Oh, hey, yeah, I think so, Kachan. My mom always told me that when I got my quirk, I could strive to be just like All Might. So this quirk is kind of like her still being here. I'm gonna make the best of the quirk, Kachan, and I hope you do the same." Before he can answer, there's a ring at the door. "Izuku, the rest of your family belongings are here." Digging through it, he sees family pictures, past memories, and eventually a sword, seemingly for an adult. He picks it up and it changes from its original color to one that's fully black. While they look at the pictures of his family, he begins to cry, and the water of his own eyes, or of his own tears, stop mid-air and attract to the sword, seemingly making a wave effect around the sword. He slowly swings it, and the waves on the sword slices across the air as he moves it. "Whoa, was Izuku, that's so cool. Thanks, Kachan." As they grew up, Bakugo and Midoriya were raised as if they were brothers, and Bakugo always protected Izuku when kids would try and bully him for what they say as a very lame quirk or not flashy at all. When they entered middle school, they started training together, setting the goal that they both will go to UA and become the top 2 heroes. On top of their training, Izuku was sent to learn swordsmanship by a man named Urokodaki, who has been training in the way of the sword for a very long time. While they're training, Urokodaki was even able to help Izuku hone his water elemental breathing, in which they deemed as water breathing. Urokodaki also brought up the idea that Izuku's breathing could do so much more, but he should learn to constantly use what they deem as concentration breathing. After about 2 years of training, Izuku was done with everything and he needed to know in terms of like swordsmanship. And when walking out, he saw a kid going in with a scar on his face, and for some reason it felt like he knew that kid. Bakugo's and Izuku's training continued, with Izuku learning more about honing his concentration breathing, and even realizing how much concentration constant has helped in stamina growth, strength growth, and many other attributes. Then the day came. Nearing the end of middle school, the teacher began to announce, "I would hand out career aptitude tests, but I know all of you want to go the hero route," throwing all the papers in the sky. Everyone starts flashing their quirks and excitement. Even 2 of our very own will be applying to UA, both Bakugo and Midoriya. Chattering begins to enter the room about how great Bakugo is and how he can get in, but that Midoriya has such a lame quirk and that there's no way he'll get into UA. "Shut up, you damn extras. At least Izuku isn't gonna be some sidekick to some busted D-lister like all of you." The class begins to rage at Bakugo, but the class quiets down after the teacher says to do so. After class, Bakugo and Izuku begin to leave. "Thanks, Kachan, for having my back, but you know I don't mind what people say." "Yeah, I know, Izuku, but they're annoying, and they don't know how much training and work you have gone through." "I know, but it's okay. Hey, can we stop at my family home? I just want to go see how much it has changed." Bakugo agrees, and they head over to Midoriya's old family home, traveling under a bridge. As they walk through, a giant green sludge villain busts out of the sewer. "I need one of your bodies. I didn't know he was here." Midoriya reaches into his bag and pulls out his sword. Izuku, Mom told you not to bring that thing to school." "Sorry, Kachan, but it saves time when we go straight to training." Midoriya unsheaths the sword, and begins to flow, and water begins to flow around it. Water breathing, 6th form, Whirlpool. "What is this, kid? Ah!" "Kachan, now!" Bakugo blasts the villain, and the villain scatters everywhere. "I am here!" Both surprised, All Might comes blasting through the sewer. "No, wait, All Might?" "Yes, and did you 2 do this?" Yeah, All Might, we did, and because the villain came at us with, killing intent." "Impressive. You 2, I hope you 2 will be applying to UA." They both say they basically are at the same time, and All Might collects the villain and jumps off. Bakugo and Midoriya, on the way to Izuku's old family home, talk about how cool he is in person, and when they reach his old home, they stand in front. "You know, Kachan, all the training we have done it is like the only way I can truly remember my mom. It's actually hard for me to remember her face without seeing pictures. But I really do appreciate what your family has done for me, Kachan." "Damn it, nerd. Don't get all emotional on me. Of course, how could we not take you in? You got us as a family now, but I'm glad you still hold on to those family memories." "You know, Kachan, you know it, Kachan. We can go home now. It was nice to visit." They both head home, and for the next 10 months, they train together, deciding to actually clean Dagobah Beach as a way of cardio. They finished the beach with about 2 months left before the entrance exam, and decided to take the rest of the time to actually study. The day then arrived, and both Bakugo and Izuku head to where the exam will be held. When they arrive, they're talking, and Midoriya slips, but then begins to float. Sorry about that. I probably should have asked to use my quirk on you, but falling before a big test is bad luck. Well, see you inside. Good luck. Midoriya stood there, just completely in shock. You damn nerd! You should see the look on your face. Shut up, Kachan. They walk in and they get split up for the exam, saying that they will meet up afterwards. The written exam goes pretty well, being that Izuku is pretty smart, and then the practical came. While waiting for the practical to start, Izuku sees the girl that saved him from falling earlier and goes to talk with her. I will not let you sabotage her. No, that's not what I was going to do. Go, 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 go! There's no countdowns in a real battle. Izuku then, ignoring this blue-haired boy, then races off, slashing through robots with his sword. I mean, luckily I got the ability to use my sword cleared by UA. Without it, I would be struggling a lot more right now. Using water-breathing 10th form, Constant Flux, he's able to actually defeat a lot of robots at very high speed, actually, getting about 60 robot points. Then, the huge zero-pointer came out from the building. Seeing this, Izuku begins to run, but then sees the girl he met earlier about to be crushed by it. He runs over to her. You'll be fine, I promise. How are you? What? How? Water breathing. 11th form. Dead calm. From the outside looking in, the teachers can see the zero point robot push forward, but fall back into the building behind it. They all thought that the robot must have malfunctioned, but it was actually the 11th form that Izuku created that pushed the robot back. But from their perspective, none of them can really truly see what happened. The test is called over and Izuku helps the girl, and they exchange names and numbers. Bakugo and him meet up and talk about how they did. After a bit of time, Bakugo gets his acceptance letter saying that he actually got the best score, but Izuku's didn't actually come in until another week of waiting. I am here. Congratulations on your acceptance into UA. You racked in 60 robot points, but also 10 hero points from our hidden category for standing in front of the girl, even in the face of danger. Luckily, the malfunction occurred, but you truly showed your fearless spirit. Welcome to UA. Bakugo hears this and walks in. What is he talking about? Malfunction? You stopped that zero-pointer. Yeah, but it's okay, Kachan. They just don't know how my quirk works. After some time, the first day of UA arrives, and Bakugo and Izuku go to school together, getting there early and sitting down together. So what do you think? What are we going to do today, Kachan? I have no clue, but other than orientation, it's just a mystery to me. You over there, take your feet off the table this instant. Or what, Four Eyes? The blue-haired boy then turns to see Midoriya, apologizing for his rudeness before and introduces himself as Ida. Uraka then comes in, saying hi to Midoriya as Aizawa enters. I'm your teacher, Mr. Aizawa. Put on these gym outfits and meet me outside. Everyone obliges, and they head outside after changing. When they get there, Aizawa throws Bakugo a ball. Throw this ball using your quirk. We will be doing a quirk test today. I want to see where all y'all are at this point. Bakugo launches the ball, and it goes 705 meters. Everyone oohs and ahs at what happened, and everyone begins to say, how much fun is it gonna be? Fun, huh? Well, let's up the stakes. If you get last in this, you're expelled. Izuku, using his concentration breathing and his water style, he inflicts the ball with water breathing, and it helps him launch the ball pretty far, actually, going about 300 meters. Aizawa, shocked, begins to ask Midoriya something. Midoriya, your quirk, what does it do? He then explains to him how he has something to do with elemental breathing, but the breathing part allows him to do various, like, basically unhuman-like feats. Bakugo then chimes in, "Yeah, and that robot that supposedly just fell down over a malfunction, that was one of the nurse techniques." Aizawa looks at him in shock. "Impressive, Midoriya. You really have made that quirk that seems so minuscule as breathing your very own." "Thank you, Mr. Aizawa." The rest of the test goes pretty well for Midoriya, actually getting about 6th place, with Mineta getting last. "Nobody's getting expelled, so just a logical ruse to make you try harder." Everyone sighs in relief, and the day ends. Bakugo and Midoriya go home, train a bit, and then sleep. When they get to school the next day during class, they see the doors swing open. "I am here." Everyone is super excited to see him, and he tells everyone to get their hero costumes on and head to the ground gamma. Izuku comes out with his sword in his sheath, and, well, kind of like Tanjiro's clothing, but with, like, more green on it. When he arrives, All Might begins to explain that they will be doing hero versus villain training, in which the villains will protect the bomb in the building, and the heroes must capture it. It is revealed that Bakugo and Izuku are on one team together, and they are going against Todoroki and Ida, who are the villains. "So what's the plan, nerd?" Well, basically, Kachan, we can assume that Ida has some sort of engine quirk, probably something to do with his speed, and Todoroki some sort of ice quirk. So what we should do is bait Todoroki into the open, because he probably will try to just take on a head-on approach. So if anything, we want to get me and him one-on-one. Bakugo agrees, and the training starts. And they head up the building, and once they begin to head up the building, it gets covered in ice, just like how Izuku thought. Izuku, on purpose, gets frozen, while Bakugo heads out through the outside using explosions. Todoroki comes down to see Izuku trapped, and goes to put the capture tape on, but then his sword lights ablaze, melting the ice that had him stuck. Using what he deemed as fire breathing, he even cuts Todoroki, even leaving a little burn mark on his arm. Todoroki tries to freeze Midoriya, but even with a close corridor, he is too fast. Until they all hear, "Hero team wins!" Bakugo actually was able to touch the bomb, while Izuku kept Todoroki far away from it. It is deemed that Bakugo and Midoriya are actually the co-MVPs for their amazing execution of that seemingly simple plan, but it still went flawlessly. After their class went, the rest of the class went. The day was then over. After some after school training, the next day then came, and the class president and vice were selected, being Ida and Momo. "Okay, class, today we'll be heading over to the USJ to do rescue training. More will be explained when we arrive." The class then takes a bus to the USJ, and when they arrive, they are greeted by Pro Hero 13. But Midoriya begins to smell something in the air. "Aizawa, something is coming. We have to get out of here." "Midoriya, what are you talking about?" A portal opens, and tons of villains come pouring out of it. "That's what I'm talking about." And that is the end of part 1 of this What If. I know it's a little short, and I know a lot of you like the longer videos, but I also don't want to spend another 2, maybe 3 days finishing this What If and making it a movie and then not post for like a week. So I personally feel like you at least get a good chunk of it, and I plan to make this 3 parts. I assume it's gonna be 1 out of 3. I like doing that, at least for these My Hero ones. I try to keep that as a rule of thumb, 3 parts. So if you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe if you are new. Do not forget to comment down below just any suggestions, or maybe any suggestions for this what if. I really don't mind. If you have a cool suggestion, you might end up seeing it in the next part of this what if, like for a future part. Like, let's say you have an idea for the overhaul arc or whatever, or the like what's about to happen right now in this next part. If you have a suggestion right there, if I see that before I'm completely done and recorded, I might slide that in there thinking, oh, that's a really good part, let me put that in. So yeah, I mean, overall, if you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. It means a lot. It tells me that you're enjoying the series. It tells me that you're enjoying my content. And as always, I have a membership button that you can totally join if you want. Totally optional. I just plug it if for people that want to join. Either way, don't matter to me. All the love and support on these videos is all I care about. And as long as y'all enjoying it, I'll keep making them. You know, that's all I want to see. So yeah, that's it. And I hope all y'all, if it's night, morning, all that, I hope you have an amazing night, amazing day, everything. And yeah, have a blessed day. Later.